Shuttle opponents include the orbital vehicle with three clusters, different rocket main engines, and a pair of recoverable solid rocket boosters. It's an amazing thing launching into the unknown, into the uncharted journey as this rocket is so valiantly flying in the sky, in the air, thrusting millions of pounds of fuel into the unknown, into the dark. So many times we can relate to this as we even journey in our lives. Sometimes we even have to get the weight off our life, and this can even represent certain people in our life to be able to get into the unknown and go to the uncharted places that we're destined to go. Involving the design, space shuttle design process, in 1966, NASA and the Air Force released a joint study coming together that housed a new vehicle, undertaking, if you will, required to satisfy the respective demands that was going on, involving even, we would say, space race, dealing with intelligence, information, dealing with the superpowers of the world at the time. A most effective solution. The head of NASA office was manned spaceflight. George Mueller announced the plan, reusable shuttle, on August the 10th, 1968. President Richard Nixon discusses the chosen shuttle design with NASA as the Administrator James Fletcher, 1972. Rather than just give contract basis on just initial proposals, NASA announced a phase that would approach for the space shuttle contract and development, phase A, if you will, for aerospace companies. Then after that, to see what was going to happen, moving into phase B, completion. Quite epic and quite amazing. This guy with the intelligently thick glasses frames there, definitely looking very scholarly, is George Edwin Mueller. Had a full long life, 97 years on the earth. American electrical engineer. This was his background. Who was an associate administrator at NASA. So he had headed the office of a manned space flight. So this is incredible. Okay, so he was hailed as NASA's most brilliant, I mean, masterful minds and a fearless manager. Like a very guy amongst guys within that structure and time and culture back then, you know, in the early 1900s and mid 1900s. So definitely a different way of life, but he was instrumental and introduced the all up testing philosophy of Saturn V launch, which ensued the success dealing with Apollo program and landing a man on the moon and returning him not unto his death, but returning safely to the Earth by the time the end of 1969. So he was very intricate design or important with Skylab and championed definitely different space shuttle developments, which got him the nickname the father of the space shuttle. So there was a lot of achievements that George Mueller had came into and definitely had a full life. Some of his education was the Missouri School of Mines and Metallurgy and Purdue University and Ohio State University. So there's a lot of greatness that was definitely there, and note to fame there was dealing with just a great program, which being NASA, and projects being Gemini, Apollo, Skylab, and he won the National Medal of Science in 1971. So there was a lot of greatness that happened with his birth being in St. Louis, Missouri, and in the early 1900s. So he came from a great background, and we can see that even today as his legacy lives on.
Cat's out of the bag.